as we start the battle between the European colonies and the native nation colonies. As we get ready to start the battle of the European colonies versus the native nation colonies will take place to be the huge, important significance in the world at this time of reign. Which side do you think has a better chance of winning this battle? When we had the journey of Matteo and Winchester and the Raleighs attempted to find an English colony at Roke and Osmec took place at time and heightened of European involvement in North America. This is a pretty insane way to start the ways that you could use and need to get all of the power with something this huge. Well, we also started better ways to start the battle with us. In 1497, we had the first European since the Vikings to encounter the North America continent. English exploration and colonization would wait for many years. Ooh, this is a hard one to beat with them being in the first part of the world, since that is the one that has started mostly everything. As the battle starts, where do you think you could lead to many different sides of the world and all? When we became better with everything in life, that means our people took advantage of the opportunities as a fur trade development and population shifted of war or diseases. This means that we ended up being the better bunch of the group for sure. Well, now we see how both had many different things happening to be good with each other. We need plenty more detail to finalize the absolute best one yet. We think that it's going to be a close and tight-knit thing on anything that we would had to get put into. Well, we will show you the better side of us for sure, yet we do have some problems that came along the way. Building women's power into the politic and economy systems, that was not a concept 17th century Europeans understood. How do they understand? With what ways they work everything in with? Now they have to fight fight it out and see they are going to be compatible with making each other better, or if there is one better than the other. Then, with everything that has been happening, the Hondas wars were real. They are recorded in archaeology and destroyed towns, first-handed accounts of French prisoners, and the oral history of the native nations that fought and fled. How do you think they are going to fight with the one out of the most almost together and being the one? Now looking more into it closely and seeing all the differences within, looking closer into the primary sources in the Acts where it says, whereas some doubts had arisen, children got by any Englishman upon the negro women should be slaved or free. B, if therefore enchanted and declared by this present grand assembly, and as all the children born in country shall be held bond or free only according to the conditions of the mother, and the Christians shall commit forcefulness with a negro woman or man, he or she so offended shall pay the double the fines imposed by the Form Act. See how this is rude and forceful? Everything happened back then, when the woman is crazy and ruthless to ever think that would happen. This is why we can't be in charge of anything, because we look horrible and are going to end up losing this battle. This is why, if these two end up working against each other, they are going to look bad than if they were working together and making the world a better place. Everything that happens. Knowing that obviously the better one we got to see if they ended up doing anything else bad as well. Within the convention, native nations could continue with the govern themselves internally, but should conduct diplomacy and war, and under the substance of Hondas. This is making sure they are the best out of the two colonies that were making the world the best that they could be to make our world better. I think that this is going to be a very quiet neck and neck right now, with all of the things that they have put through on either side. Do you think someone is going to pull through, or are we going to have a tie altogether? Of how hard things might be to figure out some parts of the world, we were facing West and East, and all of there was lots to be put into process, such as trade, animals, the way they lived, and the way they got places around America. I think that since we were able to have this happen in life, it made America stronger and better it has been. Well, little did you know, Native nations made peace and war based on factors and had little to do with the Europeans. This is able to show us that never really had anything to do with the Europeans, and they ended up never coming together with anything that they did, with all the hard things that they were put to doing in the world. As going through this whole battle, I feel as learned lots of things and lots of significance with important things in history, and we have learned that they have never really loved each other from the start, as they had lots of ups and downs with each other. Well, good game. I felt this was a wonderful way to show a representation between us two and all the things that we have put through with each other. We have had to agree on that as well, being through, though we aren't going to win this, I still felt it was going to be a significant section in our lives for sure. I felt this battle didn't go the way we thought, but it still happened, and it declared that those natives are the winners at the end of the day.